everybody. You are watching Top Shelf Network special coming at you live with a special feature. I'm super excited right now. It's like the first show that I've ever done. My blood is boiling. I'm so excited and happy. Eleni is actually with us in spirit. She's not feeling very well, but she's watching live on tsnlive.tv. And we are accompanied by a brilliant mastermind who I was so excited to connect with via Twitter. And I feel like we have a bond now. Matthew, author, innovator, genius, coming at us live from Skype, Matthew David. Welcome, Matthew.
Hi, how are you? I'm not sure who you're talking about, but he sounds really cool.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us live on Top Shelf Network. And we have so much to talk to you about, and we're very excited to be building Top Shelf's network app live on air
Mhm.
with the app builder.
Oh,
So
yeah.
first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I guess kind of like what makes you so qualified to be doing something like this? I mean, the first time we connected, you said that we were talking about just kind of about technology and the way things were heading, and I discovered that you are an author.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, come on.
well, I'm not John Grisham or anything like that, but I've written a few books on some of the technologies that are used to power the web and the stuff that's happening in the mobile sector at the moment, with iPhones and Android phones and Windows phones. And writing's just been something that I've really enjoyed. I wanted to be a writer ever since I was a little kid. And I quickly realized, though, because I really wanted to be a poet. That's really what I wanted to do.
Oh.
And yeah, it was really cool. And I went and got an English degree, and I got my first poem published and made absolutely no money from it.
You were instead of a starving artist, you were a starving writer.
Yeah, I had bills piling up. I'm like, I really need to make some money here. And at the same time, I'd really kind of gone into technology, and it's just the two really kind of came together where I was fascinated with the technology, and I got to meet some absolutely really cool people. Back in the days when the web was really kind of wild and unruly, I met a couple of people that were writing books, and they said, "Hey, we need somebody to write a chapter or two. Would you like to help us?" I'm like, "Yeah," and that's kind of how I got into it. And now I've just written my 10th book, and
Well,
it's kind of cool.
congratulations.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is
Thanks.
amazing. So you said that you wanted to be a poet. Where was the love
Mm.
of technology developed from? Was it when you were, you saw, I guess, the progression of technology happening?
Yeah.
What really sparked that fire?
Well, when I was going through college, I was actually running a children's theatre school, and we did a lot of theatre, and we also did a lot of radio and video production at the same time. And I've always been really fascinated by that. And then when I got out of college, I was just starting my first real job, and I was working as a technical writer, which was it was a great company, but I was writing about water softener filters, and it was really boring. And at the same time, the web was really exploding, and so I had an opportunity where I was playing around with these web technologies, and I'm like, this is really cool because I could really see where it was going from a way to be able to communicate, but in a completely different way that we'd ever experienced. I mean, you didn't have to read a manual to use the web. You could just open up a web browser and
Right.
you could point people in the right direction. I thought, this is fantastic. And so the ability to integrate animation and video and rich interactivity and create these really cool solutions is really what got me interested. And the rest is, kind of history since then.
That is amazing. And as you and I spoke the first time we connected over the phone, how we were just saying how remarkable it is, how technology has really connected the world. The world is now flat.
Yeah.
And we were talking about statistics because I know that that's something that you're very fond of, as am I. What we were saying how like a lot of people now are using their mobile phones, and
Yeah.
mobile phones are booming in regards to something actually you just posted on Twitter prior for us going live. It was something about that coupons through mobile devices are 10 times more likely to be used.
Yeah. Yep. what's really interesting with that is that I actually had a lady from Australia retweet that moments afterwards. And so, just to your point about the world being flat,
Right.
just kind of the way that we can communicate is becoming more and more immediate.
Right.
And we all started off with desktop computers in the 90s and early 2000s. And this amazing transition started happening in the early 2000s, which were phones started getting really smart. And it was long before the iPhone, and the Blackberries were really the very first phones that allowed us to do lots of cool stuff with our devices. And, we used to call them crackberries and,
Right.
my email, and,
They'd sleep next to them. Wives would rather sleep with the crackberries than the actual,
yeah. It's
men.
like, it's important. I got to respond.
Yeah.
And, and so it really started with those and the ability for people to realize that you could do a lot more with these devices if you had them with you all the time and they're really, really easy to use.
Right.
And then something really amazing happened in 2007, and that's the iPhone came out. I remember, watching this presentation that Steve Jobs gave. And I think to this day, it's probably the best presentation I have ever seen. And he rolls out this device and he says, today we are changing how people are going to be using their phones. And, Apple is, Steve Jobs in particular, very, very good at hyperbole and really getting everybody excited about products. But quite amazingly, he single-handedly in that moment did change how we perceived our mobile devices. I mean, I have my iPhone with me, and this comes with me absolutely everywhere. I just recently upgraded to the iPhone 4S, which is
Oh, you
really,
did. Now you have Suri. So do you love her?
I have a love-hate relationship with Siri. I have a bit of an accent, and so she doesn't always understand me.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so,
That's sad. I think
so
that's a little sad.
I was like, I want you to record something, and it's like, no, I don't understand you. And
Oh my
so
goodness.
I see the potential with Siri. It's something I think that is really going to transform how we interact with our devices, and being able to just talk to the devices is going to be really important. I mean, I do kind of feel like, Scotty from Star Trek. I'm like, computer, can you do this for me? It, but it kind of is going to get in that direction. And I saw some amazing stuff recently. I had a kind of a really great couple of trips back to back with we've been promoting the app builder. We're at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona 3 weeks ago, and then I was at South by Southwest. And it was just a great opportunity to talk to lots and lots of people who really are on the leading and bleeding edge of technology. And some of the stuff that's coming out is quite remarkable. I saw a TV from Samsung where the whole TV was completely transparent. It just looked like a pane of glass until the image came up, and then
Oh
it was a
my
full
goodness.
image. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's really just remarkable how fast technology is growing. I mean, is there anything else
Oh
that you
yeah.
can share that was similar to the Samsung TV? Um, I guess kind of being something that's powerful that you
Mhm.
remembered, to share that. Is there something else that's also
Yeah.
you could share with the viewers?
I saw some of the stuff that's coming out like right now for what you can do for just the sheer processing power that you can put into phones. Both companies like Intel and NVIDIA, who are probably two of the leaders when it comes to creating mobile chips, along with AMD. I saw a demonstration where this guy had a huge 55-inch TV, and he had a phone the size of a regular Android phone, and he was playing a game, and it looked like I was looking at the Xbox 360.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's running off a phone.
Wow.
I mean, that's just nuts. And there's some really cool stuff. The really interesting stuff was actually at South by Southwest, because there's a lot of people innovating and a lot of people getting there and talking about technologies. Definitely the biggest thing that I'm seeing is on social media and
Okay.
just the ability for people to connect. We have over 7 billion people on the planet, of which, over the next 10 years, we can expect about 5 billion of those people to be connected with
Wow.
smartphones. A really amazing thing today is that Cisco came out with a great paper a couple of weeks ago, and in it, they said, today, with 7 billion people on the planet, we have what's really remarkable is that 5 billion of those actually have phones. Now, there are all sorts of different types of phones, from just your generic phone all the way up to your smartphone. I mean, today, only 800 million actually have a smartphone. But what's really amazing is just that there's just such a huge number of people that actually do have these devices.
It really is remarkable how, I guess because people, similar to the way people are cutting their cable television and they're just relying on Hulu or Netflix or just regular, streaming like Top Shelf Network
Mhm.
for their
Yeah,
entertainment. It's really becoming more a fact where people are turning to their cell phones or their
mhm,
smartphones to go on the web, to connect through Facebook
sure.
and Twitter and social media and things like that. So similar to what you said in South by Southwest, that there was a lot of innovators and
Mhm.
entrepreneurs who were, slashing the way through technology and the front running of everything that's being developed. You and the app builder found a void in the market and you filled it. And that was designing and building your own app. And I guess the thought process is when you see somebody have an app, whether it be locating your bank or finding a restaurant or one of these things, the first thought is, how could I have an app? It's going to cost me $10,000. I need a lawyer. I need this. I need that. And the average person that's really the direction where it's going, is that a lot of people are using the apps to locate their
Yeah.
banks, to make deposits, to do a lot of your
Mhm.
day to day functions that you would normally do on the website. People
Yeah.
are going towards the app. So tell us and
Mhm.
explain to us how you teamed up with the app builder to bring this absolutely amazing service to the masses and really making it something that's, I guess I want to say easier for people to develop for themselves.
Mhm. Well, the app builder itself, the idea behind it was from a small group in Belfast, Ireland, and I have to do a big shout out to the team:
Yes.
Andy McCartney, Michael Barr, James Scott, and Stephen Gunning. They are the leaders of the company. They came up with the idea about a year and a half ago, and it came out of demand from a lot of people coming up and saying, hey, we want to have apps created. And the team realized very quickly that you could really, what you had to look at wasn't so much that you needed to be able to build apps. I mean, that's good and everything. But if we look today, if we look at the number of websites that are out there, there's over 800 million websites. There's a huge demand for websites. And
Right.
we've realized that demand over the last 20 years since the technology really became popular, because it's great for communicating and it's great for the things that you just talked about. But we're going through this next evolution, which is making everything very, very mobile. So wouldn't it be really cool to have as you said, your bank information right on your phone? So you can actually get into that information at any time. There's a crazy statistic that most Americans, in fact, most people that have a smartphone or any kind of phone, have that phone within reach 24
Yeah.
hours a day. And
I'm live on the air right now, and my cell phone is right near me.
okay, yeah. I can't. I've actually left the house without my wallet, but I don't leave the house without my phone. Yeah,
Right? This is
yeah,
true.
yeah. And so what it is with the phone is though is that unlike a website, which is you have to remember a web address and you have to go to that web address to get information. With an app, you can do a lot of stuff where you're really tightly engaged with the person using the app. So like for instance, a great example is something like Angry Birds. You download Angry Birds and you can play it. But the thing that's great about Angry Birds is that you can be kind of in and out of the game in just a minute or two. So if you're waiting in
Right.
line at the grocery store, you can play a level while you're waiting to get up to the checkout. But if there's an update, what Angry Birds can do is that they'll actually send out a notification message right onto your phone, just like a text message, and you can read it. Oh, I can respond to this. Now,
Wow.
the basic response is you just read the message, but then you can actually go right into the application and actually do something because the message triggered something. And that's what we're going to start seeing more and more of, is applications that become really engaged with you and your lifestyle, so that you don't have to go and open up a computer and actually dedicate time to actually working behind a computer. So what the guys started working on is a product that we've called the App Builder. And we started working on the App Builder probably early summer of last year. And just recently, we had a major release. We were featured on Engadget and then Fast Company and about 20 or 30 other blogging sites in the last 2 weeks with a really new approach to being able to build applications, where you can actually just come to our website. And we're going to do this in a few minutes. We're actually going to go through, and you can actually build out an application and actually have it up and running on your phone in under 3 minutes. So you can actually experience the real application and actually see something that's a real application that can then at that point be submitted to all the different app stores.
Wow. That
But
is
what we wanted to
brilliant.
do,
That is absolutely brilliant.
yeah, the guys that have been working on this, David, Rachel, Ken, Kareem, Sean, Johnny, other Johnny.
Johnny number one, number two.
Yeah, and I apologize if I'm missing any of the team. But the guys are just, they're amazing. We call them ninjas because they actually have to work with dozens and dozens of different programming languages. When it comes to building applications, the reason why it costs so much to build an application today, and I was talking to a friend of mine who runs a design agency in Chicago, and he says he charges $20,000 for each iPhone application that is being created.
Wow.
And I'm hearing that more and more because it's just very expensive and very difficult to actually build these solutions. And so you have iPhone, which is about 30% of the market, and then you have about 50% of the market, which is Android, and that's a completely different programming language.
Wow, Matthew, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm really shocked at that statistic right there, that there are more Android users than iPhone users.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Absolutely, absolutely. What's really interesting, though, is that iPhone users are much more likely to install applications. And so as a developer, you're more likely to make money from the iPhone than you are from Android. That's probably going to change. One of the things that's going to be really interesting is that globally, the PC market has kind of reached a maximum. It's been very flat in its growth, about 1.5 billion PCs worldwide. We already know that there's over 5 billion people using phones, and it's quite easy to kind of hypothesize that within the next 5 years or so, as the technology gets cheaper and cheaper, those people will transition their phones to smartphones, simply because smartphones will be the only phones that you can get. And so what we're seeing is that we're looking at markets where you're looking at billions and billions. And so, the iPhone market itself is a very healthy market. It's about, there's about 300 million or so iPhone and iPad devices. There's about 450, 500 million Android devices, and then there's about 150 million of all these other devices. And this is where the challenge starts really becoming difficult, because suddenly you don't have a market where you can say, okay, 90% are based on one technology. We have a market that's really being segmented in lots of different technologies, and any one of those markets themselves are massive, simply because the number of users out there is just absolutely massive. We have a massive global population. And so what we've done with the App Builder is we've created this tool that within minutes you're able to go through and build out an application which allows you to focus on the things that you're already really good at, which is your business, the thing that you want to do for building your application. But what we do is we take care of the technology, and so what we'll do is we'll make sure that it runs on iPhone, iPad, and iPhone and Windows Phone 7. We'll also make sure that the application itself is optimized for those devices, because each of those devices and all the different devices that are coming out all have different user interfaces. They have different screen sizes. Even with the iPad and the iPhone, you have a difference of a 3.5-inch screen and nearly a 10-inch screen.
Wow.
So we make sure that everything's optimized for those, and then we'll also submit the apps for you to the different app stores. Submitting an app into the app stores is really a challenge. I've been writing apps for several years, and I remember the first time I built an app for the iPhone, I was just like, woohoo! I built an app. I'm like going around, I'm like
we
showing
we had the
everybody, oh, it works.
similar at Top Shelf Network. We had the similar feeling once we posted and had our podcast approved on iTunes. We were like, bring the bells, bring out the confetti. We were so excited because it does take some time to have that, post onto the page. So it's
Oh,
definitely an
yeah.
amazing feeling. And then being able to reach all those people who may be browsing. So do you feel that having as either an entrepreneur or, a business owner building your brand, obviously you and the app builder team feel that this is becoming more of a necessity, just as
Oh, yeah.
the basic 101 is, you have to have a working website, a functional
Yep.
website, something that's up to date. You have to have a presence on social media, Facebook and
Yep.
Twitter. You
Yep.
are you now saying, you and the team are saying, to stay current, you pretty much have to have an app as, like, to round off the other two to make it, a complete three of being competitive in the technology market now?
I believe so. Everything that we're looking at is certainly leading us into that conclusion. I think the apps are still something that everybody's really kind of getting their arms around, but it became very conclusive to us that people are very, very interested in building apps. In the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, actually, yes, a week and a half ago, actually, we had an article that was posted on Engadget,
Right.
and it was basically a coming out party, telling everybody that we have this new tool that makes it very easy to rapidly build an application and have it running on your phone. And since then, we've had a lot of people hit our website because a few days later, Fast Company followed up with a similar article, but talking about the business value rather than just the technology.
Right.
And what we're seeing is that 1 in 10 people hitting our website are actually building an application, which is really exciting. And then what's really interesting is that about 25% are then coming back and doing something else to the application and working on it, which is really tremendous because what it's telling us is that there are literally, in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, we've generated literally thousands and
Wow.
thousands of applications. And
Wow.
on
Congratulations.
that,
Congratulations. That's remarkable.
it's been really exciting. In fact, I know we were supposed to be on last week, and it was kind of at the beginning of the whole explosion of people building apps. It was tremendously exciting, but it was like, oh my god!
Now it's like has to be functioning and running, and you're keeping up with the servers and everything. So I mean, that's amazing, and we're so excited, to have you on Top Shelf Network. And shout out to the team in Ireland. Also we send you lots of love and luck. So Matt, let's just get down to it. I mean, you have me
All
like
right.
amped right now. I'm
Uh,
ready to be part of the few that have been able to, well, the thousands that have gone to the appbuilder.com and have developed their own app. So I guess you're going to walk us through it. You're going to be sharing our screen with us. We're actually right now on Top Shelf Network, tsnlive.tv with Matthew David and the App Builder. We are building an app live on air right now. So I'm really excited.
yeah. So let's go do it.
Okay, let's do
Let's
it.
go ahead, and I'm going to start sharing my screen,
Okay.
and you let me know when you see that.
Okay, I see it.
All right.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've just gone and I have up and running is our website. So you want to start off by going to the appbuilder.com. And the appbuilder.com, we have it really simple. We stripped it down to just the basic information. And the basic thing is you want to get your app up and running. So the first thing you want to do is actually come up with a name for your app. And I was thinking we could call this the TSN app. What do you
Yes.
think?
Great.
TSN? All right.
So that's our name for our app, and this is the name that will show up inside of the app when we build it. So let's go ahead and let's start the build process. So the very first thing we're going to be asked, I'm just going to go full screen here, is we're going to be asked to put in some information about our application. And I kind of grabbed some stuff earlier on. So let's see now. We want to have, let's see, we want to have a Twitter. We can do a website and an RSS. So, oops. Hey, love to get that kind of advertising. So, so let's just go back into Google. Let's bring this back up. Nope. Where did that go? Give me a second here.
No
Just
problem, no problem.
oh, there it is. All
There we
right.
go.
Okay, so let's just get out of that. And so we're going to do an RSS feed. We're going to do YouTube. We're going to do a web page, and we're also going to pull in your Twitter account. So the
Beautiful.
idea is that what we want to do with the app that you create, there's a couple of things you can do. One is you can aggregate all the social media content that you're already using today. That makes it a lot easier for people coming to your to your app. So instead of having to go off and remember half a dozen different websites, because there are different social media sites coming up all the time. We've got Pinterest now, which is the new hot thing.
What do you think
Uh,
about Pinterest, real quick, Matt? What do you think
well,
about
that's
that?
really interesting. I actually got so I'm a huge Twitter fan. I'm a huge Twitter
Right.
fan. And I was talking to a lot of people at South by Southwest about Pinterest, and at its basic, what it is all it is really just another bookmarking tool. But what Pinterest has done that I really, really respect is that they made their site look absolutely beautiful. And you can go in and you can just look at people's sites and the way that's all laid out and everything. I love the way it looks, and it really kind of harkens back to one of the core sensibilities that Steve Jobs talked about for years and years, which is that you have to have this this harmony between technology and the arts, and you can make it as functional as you like, but if it's not a beautiful looking experience, then people are just going to drop it. And Pinterest is a great example of something that can be a beautiful experience and has just caught on like wildfire.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. So similar to catching on like wildflower is the appbuilder.com that we're building right now on Top Shelf Network. So we have in our RSS feed, our YouTube, our web page, and our Twitter. So and there's other Facebook and contact information. So if somebody is building this and they're at this step, and let's say right now they don't have a YouTube page, can they go
Mm-hmm.
back and edit that and add a YouTube page or add other features here?
Absolutely. And
Okay.
what we're actually doing is that we actually have the ability for you to actually download a desktop editor, and you can actually load up your app in the desktop editor and
Okay.
actually make additional edits later on. The thing that's great with the app builder is that any changes that you make to the app that you've created is that those changes will be saved to the app builder cloud, and anybody that has your app that's being downloaded will then receive all those updates right
Wow.
over the cloud, and it'll be just pushed
Amazing.
straight down to them. So they'll get over the air updates. So say for instance, it's like say for instance you build an app for your local restaurant. So you're a local restaurant owner,
Right.
and it's Tuesday afternoon, and you're looking out, and it's kind of looking a bit rainy, and you know it's going to be quiet this evening. You can go into your app that you've created with the app builder. You can make a simple update that says something like, "Hey, come in tonight, margaritas 2 for 1 special," and that will go out to anybody that's downloaded your app, and they'll immediately get that. And the thing that's great with that is that you can do what's I heard a term the other day which I think is fantastic. Instead of mass media marketing, which is way we were all taught to do it up till about 5 years ago,
Mm.
you can do niche media marketing. So
Right.
you're really targeting the people that are going to be using your app on a regular basis. The people, if you're a restaurant owner, they're going to be using your app on a regular basis, are your clients that are coming in. And so those are the people you want to be telling them about a 2 for 1 special, but simply because you know that the people are going to be able to come back in.
Right. So that is genius. And everybody at the appbuilder.com have really thought and looked ahead to what the needs and having the iCloud and having it, the app cloud and having it, go stream directly into the app. So that's genius. Okay. So now we're at the next screen, right?
All right, so we came on to screen 3. So this is our third screen,
Okay.
and what we're going to do is we've got a little bit of information that we have to enter in, and I cheated. I actually brought some information earlier on,
Okay.
and so I went and I got your RSS feed from your website,
Okay.
and that's just your blog feed.
Yes.
So all I did is I clicked on the link and I copied it, and I'm just going to paste that right in.
Okay.
And I also went and I grabbed your YouTube name, and I'm just going to put that in. I don't have to put any web address here. I just put in your YouTube name.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, that is really cool. I like that we've done that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and I actually found that I pulled this up on my iPhone. I was going to your website and noticed that you have a mobile version of your website, which is very, very cool and hip and trendy.
Thank you.
So, so I copied the address, and
That
so
means a lot to us, Matthew David, that you're an author and part of the app builder team, and you think that we're, Top Shelf is trendy because we have a mobile website. So thank you.
that is actually really, really cool. Not many people do, and which really shocks me because there's just a growing demand of people coming to websites on their iPhones, and people send out these huge email campaigns. Where are people checking their email today? They're checking it on their phone.
Yep.
So if you have any links in there, they're going from their phone, opening up their web browser on their phone. So
That's
optimize
great.
it.
Love it. That's great. Okay, so we're adding in some more information. So now we're putting in our Twitter also.
Yep, just going to paste in the Twitter, and then that's it.
Wow.
This is going to be our first version of our application, and we've put in some information. I'm going to select the next button, and now it's going to ask for some additional information, and we'll just wait for the screen to come up. And it's going to ask for our name, our email, and our phone number. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the Top Shelf Network email address.
Great.
And just need to have one, and there's, see, let's go grab that. And we don't have to put in the cell phone number. The thing that's great if you do put in your cell phone number is that we'll actually send you a text message, and you'll be able to actually install your application that we create now from a text message.
Wow, that is genius. Okay, so we can go in back and we can add in our cell phone number then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to press the next button, and this is where the magic happens. We're actually now going to build and create native applications as if you were downloading them from the App Store. It's going to spin around, and we're done.
Yay! Is that how fast magic happens?
That is no mean feat.
Yeah. Yeah, that is serious. How many hours?
Yeah.
It probably the team in Ireland's like, yeah, you laugh. That was quick, but it took us a long time to make it perfect.
I know that we have right now we have Sean, and he's working tonight, and he's been working a lot of nights recently, and I know that he is probably just breathing a sigh of relief that this worked.
Good job.
But I have to say, what's been really amazing is that it has been working almost flawlessly, except for one time. But it's been working absolutely fantastically with just the thousands and thousands of applications that we've been creating. So I had full confidence it was going to work tonight.
Good.
Now, the thing that's really cool is if you open up your email on your phone,
Okay.
you'll probably see that you've now got an email message from the app builder.
Okay, so I'm going to open up my email right now on my phone. I have my iPhone right here next to me, just like how Matthew said that everyone keeps. And there it is. I got two emails. I have one that says the app builder, congratulations on your new app. And then I also have another one saying your draft app, TSN app, is ready for download.
And what you want to do is click on the iPhone, iPad version of the app.
Okay. And it's asked me, the appbuilder.mobile would like to install TSN app. Absolutely. Please install. Oh my goodness. It's happening. It's almost there. And it's done. Look at that. Matt, you guys did fabulous.
So you want to open that up, and then the very first time you open it up, it's actually going to pull all the information that we just entered into your app, and you are going to have a fully working native app running on your phone.
Wow. Oh my goodness. There it is. Ah! That is
Isn't
absolutely
that
amazing.
cool?
So right here on the bottom here is just like what Matthew put in into the information was the RSS, the YouTube, the web page, and the Twitter. It's all buttons on the bottom, actually. And right now I'm on the YouTube, so it shows all of our most recent YouTube thing. That is, oh my goodness, Matt, this is like genius. This is
You
amazing.
know, the guys working on this are really they are. I've worked with a lot of really smart people.
Yeah.
Just writing the books, it gives me an excuse to like cool up these people. I'm like, hi, I'm kind of a fan. But the guys in Ireland, they just blow me out of the water. They are definitely the smartest team I have ever had the privilege to work with.
Wow. Well, it was a privilege to speak with you and talk to you and watch you build it live on the air. And it's a privilege to be to have something downloaded that the team in Ireland worked on. So thank you again to all of them for for really just innovating the market and making
Yeah.
something just absolutely amazing. I'm just waiting for your picture to come back up here. It's a little delayed. Oh, there
Up
we are.
camera.
Okay. Yeah, there. Hold on one second. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely genius. So just quickly, how did they connect with you? How did they reach out to you? Is it a funny story?
Yeah, yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. Life's just a whole list of funny stories, really. But I was actually working with Adobe at the time on a couple of projects, and the guys from Andy McCartney, one of the co-founders of the company, both he and I were working on the same project, and he's obviously based in Ireland. I was based over here, and he started showing me some of the stuff that he was doing, and he was doing some really clever stuff, and I just we did end up talking and ended up becoming very good friends. And next thing I know, he's on a plane coming over with his good friend Dave Douglas, and both of them met me in Chicago, and they said, "So, do you want to quit your job and come work for us?" I said, "Sign me up."
So, well, because you know what, you're definitely an entrepreneur and very successful, and taking the risk, being the author, and and doing the app builder and all your other successful past technology accomplishments that you've done. So now that we have the app and it's in our phone, how do our viewers, how does our friends, our mothers, our fathers, how do they find it? How long does it take to be up onto, is it the App Store that they'll be able to download?
Okay, so what the next process is that what we've done is we've created this basic application,
Okay.
and it allows you to get up and running. The next step is you can actually go back into the App Builder website, and there's a five screen setup, very similar to what we just did,
Okay.
which allows you to go through and provide all the information that describes your application. So when you're downloading an app from the App Store, the iTunes App Store, the Android Marketplace, which is now called Google Play, or any of the other app stores, you have the name of your app, a description, you have a screenshot and things like that. But you also want to be able to have like the splash screen customized, the icon on the actual app itself customized. And so we actually have a very simple little web tool that you can go through that allows you to add in all that information. And then at the end, we have a little checkout process. And for $29 a month, we'll actually then go and submit your app to the app stores. The Android App Store, the Microsoft Windows Phone App Store, and the iTunes App Store. And then you can actually then, after that, the app has been approved, you can actually then continue to make updates as often as you like.
That's
And each
amazing.
time you make an update, you'll actually send out a notification message to everybody that's downloaded your app so that they'll know that there's an update. And then they can just do an update immediately when they load the app. They don't have to go back in and re-download the app at all.
That is absolutely amazing, and that is so exciting right now. I mean, today is Top Shelf Network's app's birthday. An official birthday for Todd. I mean, Matthew, this is huge, and we're so thrilled and excited that we were able to build the app live on air. Big shout out to the team in Ireland working long hours. I
Yeah.
couldn't even imagine the technical side of coding and building and the process and trial and error. So a big shout out to them and to the team for doing a fabulous, fabulous job. And you are definitely always welcome back onto Top Shelf Network. Please let the
Perfect.
viewers know where they can follow you on Twitter,
Mhm.
maybe purchase your book online. I mean, let them know. Go ahead.
Well, you can actually go ahead and you can follow us at the App Builder, which is our Twitter account. You can also come and find us on the website as well at theappbuilder.com. My Twitter account is Matthew A. David, and obviously would love you to buy any of my books. Yeah, just follow me on Twitter. I'm always talking about mobile stuff, throwing out lots of statistics, and I'm having some great chats with some great people out there. I mean, there's some amazing people doing some amazing stuff, and finding Twitter one of the most engaging ways of finding out what people are doing. I was actually just talking to somebody in Ghana that's actually building applications, and in Africa. And it's just amazing what people are doing. It's just very, very cool time to be in technology.
It is definitely so much. Matthew, do you think that we can do a giveaway with maybe a signed book from you to
Well,
our readers?
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Actually, I have my latest book, which just came out last September,
Great.
and actually it's been selling like gangbusters. It's been very cool.
Good. Awesome. That's great. That's amazing.
And by coincidence, it's a book that tells you how to optimize your website for mobile devices.
Wow,
Alright?
love it. So then it's perfect. It'd be great to go with the app. So we'll definitely put together a contest for our viewers. We'll figure out something super fun, and you'll be able to get a signed book from the author, Matthew David, and part of the App Builder team. Matthew, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to connect with you again. My sister and I, the co-founders of Top Shelf Network, we love you and your energy. I know my sister loves your accent also. But thank you so much for taking the time, and we wish you continued success with the app builder. And thank you again.
Awesome. It's been so great to be on the show.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Enjoy. Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining Top Shelf Network exclusive Building the App Live on tsnlive.tv. The Top Shelf Network app will be available on iTunes and other outlets. If you have an Android or a Windows 7 mobile phone, you'll be able to download and be up to date on all our shows, our YouTube clips, and more, including our Twitter. And thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day.